What if I told you that the only belief you truly need to change your life is not the belief of your family, your friends, or the crowd, but your own? What if I told you that every great story ever written began with one lonely voice saying, "I can," while the entire world shouted, "You can't?" You might argue, but it's hard to believe in myself when no one else does. It's hard to stand tall when everyone I love tells me I will fail. It's hard to carry faith when I am the only one holding it. And I would answer, faith was never meant to be a chorus. It was meant to be a flame. It does not need the world's agreement. It only needs your decision to keep it burning. There was once a man named Kelrick who lived his early years trapped in the weight of other people's opinions. When he dreamed aloud, they laughed. When he tried, they mocked. When he failed, they pointed at him and said, "See, we told you." Soon, he began to wonder if they were right. He whispered into the night, "Maybe I am foolish. Maybe I was not meant to rise. Maybe my dreams are too big for someone like me." But even in his despair, a small spark refused to die inside his chest. And one night, in his silence, he imagined that spark speaking to him. It said, "They laugh because they cannot see what you see. They doubt because they are afraid of what you might prove possible. They call you foolish because belief is a language they never learned to speak. But hear me now. Their doubt is not your destiny. Their disbelief is not your truth. The only faith you need is your own. When you choose to believe, you become unstoppable." Kelrick shook his head and whispered back, "But how can I stand against everyone? How can I carry faith when their voices drown mine out? How can I walk forward when all I hear are shouts telling me to turn back?" And the spark inside roared, "Because greatness was never built in crowds. Legends are not remembered for following. They are remembered for walking alone until the world was forced to follow them. You are not called to be understood. You are called to be undeniable. If you want to rise, then you must learn to stand even when you stand alone." From that night, Kelrick stopped waiting for approval. He stopped asking for permission. He whispered to himself each morning, "Do not ask them to believe in you. Believe in yourself enough to make them regret their doubt." He worked in silence, built in shadows, and carried faith like a secret flame in his chest. And though the world still mocked, he did not bend. When they laughed, he whispered, "Keep watching." When they doubted, he whispered, "Keep waiting." But life, as it always does, tested him harder. Just as he began to make progress, failure returned. Just as he began to stand taller, betrayal cut him down. His friends said, "We told you. You are wasting your time." His rivals mocked, "You are chasing fantasies." Even his family pleaded, "Stop before you lose everything. Be realistic. Be safe." And though their words pierced his heart, Kelrick replied, "If I abandon myself now, I will live abandoned forever. Better to fail believing in myself than to succeed believing in their doubt." Years passed, and faith began to bear fruit. Slowly, victories came. The man who had once been ridiculed became the man respected. The voice that had once been mocked became the voice people listened to. But destiny never leaves steel half-forged. When Kelrick finally built something strong, storms tried to tear it away. Fire tried to consume it. The voices of doubt grew louder than ever, whispering, "This time you cannot recover." Yet in the face of ruin, he lifted his head and declared, "You can take my work, but you cannot take my faith. You can break my body, but you cannot break my belief. You can bury me 1,000 times, but I will rise 1,001 because I still believe." Those words, though spoken into emptiness, lit his spirit ablaze. From that moment, no doubt could shake him. No disbelief could touch him. He had learned that belief is not about who agrees with you. It is about who refuses to quit on themselves. When younger men came to him, broken by ridicule, saying, "No one believes in me. Everyone tells me I will fail," He gave them no illusions. He told them, "Do you think the world will believe in you before you prove yourself? Never. The world only believes once it can no longer deny. Stop waiting for their support. Stop begging for their faith. Believe in yourself so loudly that their silence becomes irrelevant. Your faith in yourself is not just enough, it is everything." By the end of his life, Ceolric was remembered not as the man who had the most support, but as the man who needed none. His faith in himself became his fortress, his fire, his crown, and in his final days, when asked the greatest lesson of his life, he smiled and said, "The world doubted me 1,000 times, but I believed in myself 1,001. That is why I stand." So what if I told you that your destiny does not need their agreement? It only needs your faith. What if I told you that the disbelief of others is not a wall, but a test, asking if you will surrender or stand? What if I told you that every legend you admire was once a fool in the eyes of the crowd? One day, when you rise, they will no longer laugh. They will whisper your name with respect. And you will smile and whisper back, "You never believed in me, but I always did."